We're going to do what we usually do with this reaction right here. Imani, first interview. She's with Pigeons and Planes. She's going to be talking about her story, signing to pgLang, meeting Kendrick Lamar, and more. Yo, right here. Right here in the small box. This is stock full with good information, I can tell already. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in with the content. Let's not waste no more time. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You know the vibe. You tapped in with your favorite Canadian reaction channel and network. Let's get started with this. Imani Imani. She smoked that album, by the way.
I want to accomplish being a leader of the time that we live in now because I miss that a little in this world right now. So I want to become that person. I want to be the artist that's really honest about who they are and never shies away from saying the truth. I really care about having an influence rather than any kind of fame or being known. I want to be able to have an influence on culture, change the way people look at things by just being who I am. And I believe I'm the right person to do so. My name is Imani Imani. I'm an artist from the Netherlands, from Utrecht, to be precise. It's a small city near Amsterdam. It shaped me a lot because I had to create my own inner world, and that's still where I create from. Imani Imani for me stands for that world, that inner peace that I have.
I ain't gonna lie, I thought she would have an accent or something. I'm wrong, I guess. Let's keep going.
It challenged me to dream bigger than the city itself. I didn't have many influences that I could really get from. There wasn't much art there necessarily. It was more like a studying place. You go there to study, go for bars. But I always wanted more. You learn at a very young age how to create your own world and your own truth. So you just find your own way, you find your people, or you find it in something that you do to express yourself, which for me was music and words. And singing has always been the most important thing to me.
Ooh, girl, you picked up the right one. Oh, my G, you picked up the right one. Hold on a second. Let me tell you something. Now, I wasn't born in this time period, but the way my parents would have this on repeat. Girl, you picked up the right one. Let me just say that. Oh, my God.
My parents, they were never together in my life. So I had two different households and they were very different from each other. But the one thing that was connecting was the music. They listened to the same kind of music, which is so special now that I think about it because it was all like Marvin Gaye, D'Angelo, like Jill Scott, Angie Stone, rest in peace. This was the only thing that I felt like was the connection between my parents, who I both obviously really loved. But I couldn't see what they both liked. Like, I didn't understand.
I still can't believe 3 of them passed. Angie Stone, bro. Oh, man. This world, bro.
Even how they ever were together. And I think it's really special if you have something as a kid that connects them to each other. So it's just a lot of soul music, disco, all the good things. But for music, my introduction to music was actually in a choir, which was classical music. So it was very different, but teaches you a lot about, you know, how to sing very clean, how to do harmonies, and also how to care more about the music piece than about your own identity in the music, which is special, I think.
So that's a theme that we haven't seen in a while for a lot of R&B artists. R&B artists today don't really come from church, or they don't really come from a choir anymore. They're just discovered or found or whatever like that. You don't really see like them like, oh yeah, I used to be in the choir. I used to be like in the center. I was the young prodigy. You don't hear that no more. That's why her music's working. When you have that background in choir, it doesn't have to be like connected to church, but of course usually with church comes with a choir. But when you have a choir background and you want to be an artist, you're already elevating past a lot of R&B artists today. Because majority of them, they just like to swing or switch on that auto-tune. And then they start singing their best. And then the friggin' listeners at home are sitting there like, oh man, this guy is killing it. Or this girl is so amazing, but it's just auto-tune. You see what I'm saying? Like, we need more of that.
You mentioned like Angie Stone and D'Angelo and Marvin Gaye, but who were the first kind of musicians that you fell in love with?
I think my first was Erykah Badu, because she also teaches you a lot about how to be a woman. in this world, a Black woman also. So I think that was probably the first I took from home. Nina Simone, I really connected with deeply because she has this way of translating pain that is so special that I didn't know you could do in that way. It's so raw, it's so honest. She doesn't care about anything around it. And that's something I would love to grow to because I feel that way, but I don't know entirely how to express it yet, but I love that. I think 13, 14, you start really like shaping your own music world a little bit more. That's when she came around. But I was also listening. Like I was also big into trap. I just love Young Thug. I also love all the good stuff. The Weeknd early days. That was also a world. I think I was at that time specifically really into pain in music and how you could express that. And there's so many ways to express it. Because even for The Weeknd, it's a different part of his pain, but it's still that place. And then Nina, obviously a whole different world, different age, but has that similar feeling to it. And
nah, it's a good choice to actually choose The Weeknd because early Weeknd when he used to have that tree top on his head, bro, everybody thought this man was emo. Like talking like House of Balloons, any of his early albums, it's like, bruh, you don't just like living on this planet, but it's crazy. But the way that it resonated with the kids of that era, bruh, that makes him like undeniable. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of interesting how they kind of like incorporated pain and music and how that really resonated with the youth. It still resonates with the youth today, by the way. But it was really at its peak back in like the 2010s. Bruh, trust me. Especially when I was in like high school. The way people used to talk about The Weeknd, I'm like, who is this? Who is this Saturday, Sunday ass nigga? Like, what the fuck? But then I grew to understand it, bro. Real shit.
And that's what inspired me when I was that age. I have this line in one of my songs in Paper Cut on Chasing. And I say this line of, I think I'm born with a broken heart. And it's just something I truly believed. Like, especially at that age, I felt a level of hurt or something I couldn't really place. I didn't know where it comes from. But I also believe there are people that carry something with them throughout their lives that might be from other lives or other moments. But from that place, you can create beautiful things if you know how to, channel it, yeah. But the rain never stops. I think I'm born with a broken heart. It must have been about 14, I think, when I went to the studio the first time, because it's just a fire that comes around that age where, I had that, where you want to be more than what you know. It would always start with words first. And then the melody would just come to me by just being in silence, because that's when I hear it. That's when I can receive the best things. But taking music very seriously happened later, actually, when I was 18, 19, got out of, your bad teenage relationship, and you're like, no, I got it. I want to be my own person and go into the world and really tell a story. I quit school to do music at the time. Just felt this urge of, I finished my first school, but then I wanted to continue university. And I was like, no, I need to do what feels right. I had nightmares even about not doing it. So it was very serious to me. So my journey starts there, but it was really hard actually back home. It wasn't really easy to find people to create with that felt right, felt like they had similar dreams, but also were willingness to work really hard for it, which I did have at that age, I think. So I went on to create my world first before I got the music right, because I could sing, but I couldn't produce at that age. So I just wanted to, know what it visually is going to look like, have an artist name, which was, at the time, I think I had Moon as an artist name because all my music was quite darker and like sensual during the night type of thing. And Moon is like part of my name in the Netherlands, like in Dutch. And it was all bedroom kind of music, but I couldn't find the right people to create with. And when I was about 19, I found my producer that I made Paper Cut with. His name is Dan, and we're from the same city, like around next to each other. So I was really glad to find him and a producer that could bring sound to my world. We worked for, I would say, years, like 6 years or something, on and on before we even released anything. We really dedicated ourselves to.
Whoa, wait. They worked together for, hold on, I gotta hear that part again, because that's actually very important. Hold on.
Bring sound to my world. We worked for, I would say, years, like 6 years or something, on and on before we even released anything.
Y'all work for 6 years on and on before you released anything. Now, to make this clear, it's not necessarily artist development at its core. But if you're working together with that producer, just this guy, of course there might be more, but the fact that you're working with this dude, hold on, let me go back. This individual, okay, that's a crazy photo. We can do better. We'll take it, whatever. But you're working with this dude for about 6 years on music before you finally drop Paper Cuts. No wonder the project did so well. No wonder the project did so well. You literally, it's not just like you're envisioning or you're embodying the music. Y'all worked on it. You worked on your craft. A lot of people don't do that. They usually just drop and they go with the flow. And then they sit there and wonder why the career is not hot. Bruh, Imani Imani just dropped the album on, and then YouTube just received it. Do you understand how fast she's gonna elevate? Just wait till the next project come out. Because that's really what's gonna test her. That's what's gonna be the real test. It's one thing to put out the first project. It's that second one that's gonna let you know if you're on the right track. I think she's gonna smoke the next one. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's gonna be a surprise drop either. So that's gonna be crazy for sure. World building too, that's important. That's so different. See, but that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be a good artist today. Because if you're just putting out music to blend in with everybody else, you're never gonna get hot. So she made sure to work on herself so that when she puts out this project, she's gonna stand out. And she kind of did. I'm not gonna lie. With Paper Cuts, if you go back and listen to it, she kind of did stand out. If we're gonna be real. So that's fire. That's definitely fire. People just copy other people as a shortcut. Bro, big heck. It's so crazy that you say that because in Toronto, that's exactly what they do. Every artist here, the one thing that they love to do or they love to use the most is auto-tune. They adore auto-tune. They use it as if it's like, you know how like some people just like, how am I going to put this? It's when you're doing something repetitive every day. You're doing the same thing because you can't let it go. It's like a part of your addiction. It's like smoking. Yeah, you can say like them using auto-tunes like smoking. They can't let it go. That's frightening. That's the majority of the artists here. But the ones that don't use it and actually focus on their craft are the better artists. Unfortunately, nobody knows about them.
His name is Dan, and we're from the same city, like around next to each other. So I was really glad to find him and a producer that could bring sound to my world. We worked for, I would say, years, 6 years or something on and on before we even released anything. We really dedicated ourselves to creating a sound that we would feel would change something, because that's all I really care about in this. I really have an intention with what I do, and that just takes time. I was keeping my music very low-key. I wouldn't share with anyone because I really felt like we were onto something. So we decided, like, we have a sound now, we can share it because people want to take it from us. It was very serious to us at the time. I remember thinking, like, I want to get really good at this because I care about it. I want to see how far I can make it with this. I want to see how far I can, honor it by getting good at it. And that's just why I went into the room and just did the work for it. Better than this. Too smart, you're too cute, I can't fuck me. Won't dress down, now I can set the feet.
Were there any moments where...
I think with her, there's an opportunity to blend R&B and house really well. With more R&B than house, but the blend would be good. I think that would be a good opportunity because with European sound and European music, of course, like it came from black people, but like EDM, electronic dance music, house, the kind of like digital sounds that they have out there. That's an opportunity to gain that consumer base by subtly using like house music. I think house music is the key because out of everything from EDM, house is super hot right now.
Where you had like self-doubt and just didn't feel like this was ever gonna work?
So many times. I think, and this is a funny story, because even the day when Dave first reached out to me about pgLang was the day that I wanted to quit music.
Oh, wow.
And I was in the room, I was with Don, because we worked in his studio setup. We had a really small room studio, you live in like an apartment. I remember telling him, I don't know what to do, like I can't, like we do this every day, but it was also COVID. So I was just, you know, nervous about, we're making music, but I don't know if we can put it out right now because the world is shut down. I just didn't see it anymore, and I've had many of these moments. And that's the day, you know, now that I know that Dave sent me a DM on Instagram saying that he saw something in me based on what I'd already put out, which was very minimal on my Instagram page. There was some kind of music on there, some lyrics, maybe some snippets, but it was quite vague. So he saw something on whatever I was sharing, mostly I think the lyrics. So we had a call 2 days after, and that call actually solidified what we still work on. That's the foundation was laid there because we just connected on so many ways of seeing how to approach art, how to be intentional about it and patient. And this was something that he mentioned he didn't see in many artists in that time. So that's just what solidified the mindset, I think, and our taste levels. And we worked from there. The first 2 years, it wasn't about signing at all. We didn't even talk about it. It was mostly about getting to know my world. And if I needed anything, he would say, you can just reach out to me and I'll open doors for you, because obviously he can do that. But I knew I wanted to get signed. I was like, I want to be the first girl. That's what I knew. So for me, it was very much my mission, my personal mission, but he would never promise me anything. And I really like that because in that way, he could inspire me, he could give me knowledge, help me here and there, but it was never about, I'm going to do this for you or you should do this. He would just let me grow my own time, which I really did. I took that time. As a developing artist, that's the best development. If you get the time, if you get the resources to take that time. I think what I appreciate about pgLang is how much they trust their own taste and their gut feeling. And that's something I also do. And that's just the best way to work with each other. If you work with people that trust themselves really well, that's when you can really do some things. Because they're not looking out for what's cool or what's the next thing. They just have a strong gut feeling about it. And that's how it becomes effortless. And that's also how I approach things. And I believe in people that do it that way.
What did that feel like?
That's actually healthy as hell. So she's Dave's artist. Well, she's under pgLang at the end of the day, right? So it's like it's Dave and Kendrick. So of course Dave did the scouting. But at the end of the day, like it's them two working together with her to make shit and pop. That's it. Like it's literally just there to make shit pop. And it worked. But the fact that she was given the opportunity to develop, so there was definitely some artist development there with time. Because with time, that's when you can truly create. That's when you can truly grow. And that's when you can truly flourish. A lot of artists don't get that. As soon as they sign that paper, all right, man, we need an album. We need a single. Make sure you get that EP ready. You know what I'm saying? We're probably gonna give you about like a couple months. Okay, make sure you got something cohesive, something nice just to put out for the people. And we probably gonna give you a little extra money for some advertising and some marketing. And you better make it happen. That's usually how it goes. They ain't got no time to develop shit. But of course, in today's music world, it's about the illusion, and it's not always about the talent. Clearly, at pgLang is different. You know? Hey, Bethany, welcome back.
Like, did that feel, I don't know if you're religious or spiritual, but did it feel like something when the day you wanted to quit was the day you got a message?
Yeah, I'm very spiritual, so, but also I can't not be, because my life has been very spiritual in this way, where the days that something happens, you know, it's a full moon, there's always something about it that really makes sense. And I think when I'm on the right path, I always get very, very clear signs of it being the right path, and that I can be calm about it. I can trust that something's bigger than me. My name also, Imani, means faith. And I think I have that in me, just in who I am. Even the moments I feel insecure,
Her
I can
name means
always go
faith?
back
I wonder what language that comes from.
about it. I can trust that something's bigger than me. My name also, Imani, means faith. And I think I have that in me, just in who I am. Even the moments I feel insecure, I can always go back to that.
Is that why you doubled it up?
Yeah, I'm like, I need 2 times. Faith.
Give me more.
Fire photo shoot.
My first time meeting Kendrick was back in Amsterdam, which was nice because it's my hometown, or where I was living at the moment. It was right before his Mr. Morale show there. I remember like a month before I had sent out music to Dave. Something I really believed in at the time was the song. And he was like, okay, I want you to meet Kendrick. And it was special because at the moment, before that, he would never speak on Kendrick. And I liked that because it was really like a personal connection we were making, you know, a business focused one. And it wasn't about who he was working with or whatever was going on. But that song, I think, pushed something. And he was like, it's good to meet him now. We met at the studio and I saw them working. I did something like melodies on something just to, you know, test out how I was doing that, which was really nerve-wracking. But
That's actually crazy because now, like, at this point, I really want to have a conversation with Dave Free. It's one thing to have a conversation with Kendrick Lamar, which of course will be super substantial and super important, but to have an interview or just have a conversation with Dave Free, I'm actually interested in that too because of the little conversation point that you have just right here. Usually today, labels, record labels, etc., industry, they love to sell using other people. But in this case, Dave Free never sold the idea of working with Kendrick. Dave Free just said, all right, so what we're going to do here is that we're going to figure out this step for you so that we can start to put you on a pedestal so you can elevate yourself to be a better artist than what you are right now. We're going to put these kind of tools in front of you. We're going to set you up and put you in studios here, here, and here. Not hearing nothing about Kendrick. That's very significant because a lot of artists, they need to hear the game plan before they hear about who they're going to be working around. But today they flip it. It's like they want to sell, oh, so I know this guy. I think you know him too. He goes by Drake. Have you heard of him before? The fuck would I need to care about him right now if this is supposed to be about me? What are you here for? That's important. It's Swahili. That's fire. That's fire for real. But nah, to have conversation with individuals like that would definitely be very, very important because to explore their mind is going to be a treat because the answers and the kind of comments you're going to get, it's almost like it's going to feed your soul. And like to see that smile on her face right there alone, she has the confidence to be outstanding just by talking with the right people.
And we had a little bit of conversation, but I think it was mostly special because you just feel like an energy of someone. And that's the thing that really inspires me. Just the same way other people, I think, have that of him. I still have that. When you're around someone, you can get so much information from just that by how they do things, how they approach things. And that's what inspires me the most. Mm-hmm. He inspires me because in a way, obviously, like to me, he's right now the best at doing what I also strive for, which is, you know, making music you can listen to, you can enjoy it so well, but there's so much depth to it. He inspires me by how he even taps into culture, but also knows how to take, you know, remove himself all the time. He's there when it's needed and does it in such an authentic way. That's what inspires me the most.
Fire.
Roller coaster living, fully independent. I'm on the rooftop, thinking about you every second. Want that real love, I can get it for a minute. Baby, don't call me back. I had enough. I give it up.
Fire.
Your song Snatch premiered during Chanel's 2024 show. Before
Really?
Lots of people even knew like who you were. What did that moment feel like?
Yeah, Snatch was an amazing moment. I was in Paris for it. I was at the show. When you see the show, I couldn't find myself, which I also liked. Like, you don't even know that I'm there. And I love that moment so much because it's like a symbol of how I want to do music. Because I think how you start is like how you're going to do it or how you might even get out of it. And for me, it was like, it got played and it serviced the show in a beautiful way, but it wasn't about me. I think if they had asked me to perform it, for instance, I would have been nervous and it would be all about me and like what I look like or what I do and how I sing. And now it's like the music got its own place. It was there for the show. I could watch it. No one knew it was even me, and it's very special because you never have that you get to listen to it.
But that's the marriage between fashion and just music in general. Like, of course, you can put it towards hip hop too, because of course, like, it's a pillar. Like, they're both pillars, but like at the same time, it's like just to see the marriage between a fashion show, something as simple as a fashion show, with this kind of music. On paper, it might seem like boring, it might seem silly, it might seem like the wrong idea. Practically speaking, when you have the models, they got all this gear on, they got all this, like, these new pieces no one's ever seen before. All they got to do is their job, which is strut down whatever runway that they got, but the music helps to amplify each and every piece of clothing that is worn by the models. It's like that artistic expression, that kind of like physical kind of media in a sense. That's kind of like that's what helps sells the product. That's what helps sells the brand. That's what helps to amplify the moment. That's what makes people intrigued even more. Like, they will make emotional connections just because of this song playing. That's crazy. I like that kind of shit.
That's just one moment where no one knows you, but they do hear your music. So it was so special, and you don't get that moment back. I loved it so much.
I get down on your shit, I get nasty. Yeah, we cry when we kiss, make it messy, bestie.
So the album obviously arrived with almost no rollout. Why?
I think it's good music, so I believe in it. So we'll find its way at the right time. If I would have put out one song, it wouldn't do justice to how much work we had already done or how much of a body of work we already had. And obviously I had the luck of having a platform like PG that supports it. So that's the rollout in itself.
Why the title Paper Cut?
I think the title Paper Cut works because it's all started in like a notebook on paper. That's where my world started. So I just realized in writing, the words sometimes would hurt me. Not the paper necessarily. I didn't get many paper cuts, but the words would hurt me so much because you would write and just discover things about yourself that you didn't know. And then there's just a sharpness to, I think, how I express on that album. It's direct, it's bold sometimes, it's vulnerable at other times. So there's a cut in how it can reach you. It can touch you in a way. And I like that about it. Paper Cut is a mix of moments throughout these years that I was making music. Throughout those years, I think I made a bunch of albums, kind of, because there was so many moments where we made so much music. But Paper Cut was this moment, I think, where I moved to Berlin at some point, and there was just a clearer idea of like who you are when you go outside of that little room that I had in Amsterdam where I had created for so many years. I kind of just went out of the loop of those years, and I had a better understanding of who I wanted to be in the world. I always wanted so much more, and it's in all of those songs, it's about wanting more or someone back, or you want more of them. But it actually is just about that I wanted this one thing, which was like releasing music or releasing myself of those years of just working in the same way. But for this album specifically, it even came out more poppy than what I was listening to at the time. So like I said, I like Nina Simone a lot, but this is quite far from Nina Simone. But this is the music that reached me. This is like, these are the ideas that were in the air that I picked up on. So I like that I removed the idea of who I wanted to be, which just made it the music. And then you put it out and you can tell later on that there's just way more of you in there than you thought. You know, it's your stories, it's the way you express it. But sometimes you gotta express something that's bigger than yourself.
Put a bet on me, I bet on you. When you talk that talk, better see it through. It's smart to within.
I used to go by Imani Selena because it's my real name. I always just loved it because it has something elegant but also a bit toughness in there. I like the combination of it. But I think letting go of the name also is letting go of a time that, you know, it took really long for me to be in a room being Imani Selena and kind of sharing it with the world, but also not enough. I was also hiding behind that name sometimes. Imani Selena used to be quite mysterious, and that was the image I had around it. It was darker, it was mysterious, and I don't want to hide, you know, and Imani Imani felt like the right thing to do because...
Maybe that's why you had that kind of block before you met Day Free. So it's funny that you doubled up on the Imani Imani, because with that being faith, and it's pretty much your name is like faith. It's like you're putting extra faith in yourself because you really want to step outside your comfort zone so that you can show the world what kind of music you can make that's quality and it's going to reach them, you know? Going back to like her talking about the Paper Cuts like project, I made similar points by the end of the album review that I made. So when I reviewed that album, when we went through the album together, the reactions it's on YouTube. It's easy to find. Don't have to worry about it. Flex My Network, Imani Imani, Paper Cuts. You already know. But by the end, I was making similar points because based on the subject matter in each song and then coming to the end of the project, the way Paper Cuts is, it's almost like sharp pain, but like it's not the kind of pain that's gonna like hurt you in a sense. It's like this pain is temporary, and as you go through the project, it's like you're growing with the pain. So now that you're technically a healed individual with a past, but in your future, as you walk, as you step, as you start your grind, the pain is familiar, so like it can take you to new heights in a sense, right? So that's pretty much like a summary of like what I was getting at from the album review. But it's kind of funny hearing her say similar things, and so I'm sitting there, I'm like, damn, I'm good, bro. Damn, I'm good, bro. What?
I've always bet on myself. I've always taken inspiration from myself.
As you should.
I want to have it twice. I'm very new, but I have a lot to say, and I think Paper Cut and all the things I started with now is a good introduction to who I am, and I want the music to speak first. I do think it helps to know the person behind the music. That's why I like that we're doing this. I think I'll know the right moments to talk, and I would love to inspire in that way too, because by being who you are, you inspire so much more sometimes than you think. So I want to be a leader at some point. I want to be seen in that way, by leading with example. So I would definitely share some things about myself when I find it important. I think I would love to find a way to reach as many people as possible without having to compromise myself and the art. And I think that's why I'm happy to be with the team that I'm with, because I think they have a really good way of doing that. And I want to learn how to do that because I think it's also nice to have a woman doing that in that way.
Just like that, bruh. You know? Great interview. A lot that we've learned about her, a lot of insight, a lot of information that we can take away and use in other conversations. So, hey, y'all did what y'all did. Shout out to Pigeons and Planes. Shout out to Imani Imani. Shout out to pgLang. Man, what y'all doing with this artist, y'all making the right steps. It's not about fast tracking. It's about putting them in position to start driving themselves. That's it. Usually today they like the fast track artists so they can push them to the world. But you're pushing them to the world unprepared. Imani Imani, she's making her own journey to front and center stage at her own pace, at her own speed, so that she can show the world, oh no, these artists are cool. But when you take a little bit of time, you take a little bit of energy, and you work hard enough, this is the kind of music y'all gonna get. That's good. That's good. So shout outs to the shout outs, man. Y'all smoked that. That was a good one for real. I really enjoyed that one, to be honest.